everyone. Marla Mervis-Hartmann here, and I am here today with my best friend, Cari Schaefer. She is Dr. Cari to you. She is a Chinese medicine doctor. She's been in practice for over 19 years as a nationally certified herbalist, and she primarily works with women and children, well, actually all families. But the reason she is here today is we're going to dive into a conversation around what health has to do with negative body image. And let me say that again, how negative body image affects your health. So when I started working with Cari years ago, and she has been a huge piece in me figuring out a better relationship with my body. I've shared with you, all of you, my story around negative body image, food, body obsession. And one of the first things that Cari had me do was write down all of my food, because she had a little bit of a suspicion something was going on there. And I always thought that I was addicted to food. What Cari and I Cari helped me see is I wasn't actually eating anything. She's like, Marla, it's like, there's no nutrition here. No wonder you're hungry, right? So there's just been so many deep dives that I've had that she's helped me figure out, you know, adrenal health, thyroid health, and really got me on track on how better health affects negative body image. And negative body image, like we talk about negative body image and how it affects your life, but what is it actually doing to our health? Yeah.
I so remember that. That was such a funny moment. I'm like, okay, so Marla, do you really think? I had a woman come in one time and she was like, I'm gaining weight, and she was super upset by it. And then I said, okay, well, do you have your diet journal? And she showed it to me. And it was like every day she was eating candy and hamburgers and French fries. And I was like, okay. And I looked at her and I said, well, do you usually lose weight when you eat like this? And she's like, oh, well, no. I was like, okay, so now we can have an honest conversation.
That honesty and really looking.
Right. Yeah. She was stuck in the loop about I'm gaining weight, but wasn't connecting it to the choices she was making. It was just the loop of there's something wrong with my body, I'm gaining weight, there's something, you know what I mean?
There's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with me.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so, yeah, isn't that interesting? So it was the opposite of you, and yet it's the same thing that drives it, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I see in 19 years I've been working with people, and I have been on my own health journey. That was what got me into medicine. I have found that you can't separate out how you feel about yourself and your health. So in the work I do, I'm always looking to identify areas of stress on a body. And very often what's included in that are what I call outdated survival programming. It's that programming that makes us not think good about ourselves, right? It's that programming deep underneath that says, I'm not good enough unless, right? Unless I lose the weight, unless I look perfect. I just recently had somebody come in and she said to me, I've decided that I'm not going to worry anything about any of this. This is all, I'm putting all this aside. I'm just going to focus on, and she listed how she was going to get herself perfect.
Oh, no.
And I was like, whoa, let's back out of that, right?
Yeah.
So when we are sending messages to ourselves that say, I'm not skinny enough, I've got cellulite, I'm not this, I'm not that. When I get these in place, then I'll be able to be lovable, right? We're telling ourselves that that there's something wrong with us, and in some way, shape, or form, we're not worthy of love, right? And so those messages, our brain literally hears those messages and then acts upon them, right? Our brains are amazing, and they have an amazing ability to follow our commands, right? So if we're walking around with these unconscious or even conscious self-limiting beliefs or self-hatred beliefs, those beliefs are impacting our vibrancy. We cannot create vibrant health walking around every day and telling ourselves that we are, are bad, are not good enough, are, unlovable. There's something wrong with me. That was one of mine. One of my biggies was, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. You tell your body that there's something wrong with it, and guess what you're going to find? You're going to find things that are wrong.
Right.
Right? So you can't separate the two out. You have to look for, when you're identifying the problem, you have to look for the choices you're making every day, right, that are contributing to your health issue. You also have to look for the thoughts and beliefs that are contributing to your health issue if you really want to turn something around, if you really want to create vibrant health.
And what I'm hearing you say in the situation with me and this other client is that negative body image is stopping her from taking care of herself.
Right.
She just said, nope, I don't like my body. I'm going to get taken care of. Then I'm going to take care of all these other health choices.
Right.
Right. And what I find, and you can talk a little bit more about this too, is that if we don't know how to listen to our bodies, right? So if we're stuck on this loop of I'm not good enough, there's something wrong with me, so there's something wrong with me, we don't hear the voice below that says, get support this way, stop eating that food, check out, this support system, right? There's a block in the actual capacity to even listen to what the body wants.
Absolutely. And so when people come in, initially I act as sort of their guiding post. But the goal of what we're doing is getting their guiding internal voice on and getting them able to hear it. Not the negative self-talk, but the true listening, the true this is the right choice for me. This is the most loving choice for me. It's one of the things I use with my clients all the time. It's what's the most loving thing I can do right now in this moment? And it helps them start to tune back in with that guiding intelligence inside of them that actually knows, right? If you just stop and ask that question, what's the most loving thing I can do right now? And I can guarantee you it is not going to be something that is self-abusive, right? It's not, the most loving thing is not going to eat the third piece of cake. Eating the first piece of cake may be the most loving thing. It might be. But eating the third, generally not the most loving thing, right? Because the body just doesn't need that much sugar and flour and in one sitting. It just doesn't need it, right? So always sticking with that, what's the most loving thing I can do, starts to help us reorient and learn to hear that deeper voice inside of us that really does know and is loving, right?
So I love that tool because a lot of people ask me, how do I stop binging? Right? Or how do I stop shameful eating? It's really to get in touch with that question.
Yes.
Is to slow down and say, what's the most loving choice I can make right now? Because when you're asking that question, questions are so powerful. When we ask powerful questions, the mind is looking for a question, right? It's not the question of how can I not eat that today? How can I not binge today? How can I, the knots. It's asking a question from a place of positivity.
Right. And questions activate the frontal neocortex, which by its nature get us out of the limbic brain. And the limbic emotional brain is where most of these programs that we're running that are driving us to that refrigerator or driving us to want to, over exercise or driving us to do something that actually isn't loving to our body. Right? They exist back then. So when you're back there, so when you're being activated, that's activated. If you ask a question like, what's the most loving thing I can do right now? Now this part of the brain starts to come on and you start getting more freedom of choice. Right?
Didn't I tell you she was good? Thank you
It's
so
so
much.
mutual.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Cari.
it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Really, my pleasure.
I'm so glad to be able to share you with her. I want you to keep on the lookout for more good stuff from Cari. She has so many wonderful tools and resources to keep you in really great shape, and great shape mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of it.
You can't separate it.
No, you can't. So I'm going to put all of the information below about Cari.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. And remember to ask yourself that question. What is the most loving thing I can do for
right now?
Right now.
Right now. What is the most loving thing I can do right now? Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.